Since 2018, Ludo King is the number one ranked game in the Google Play Store in India and has over 900 million downloads. These big numbers are unheard of in the Indian gaming industry, and what makes this even more special is the fact that it was built by a small gaming company in Navi Mumbai with just 7 employees. Hey guys, I'm Jayesh and you're watching Hustle TV. In this video, we will see how Vikas Jaiswal's obsession with video games led him to build India's most downloaded game, the story of Vikas Jaiswal and Ludo King. Vikas was born to a middle-class family in Patna, Bihar in 1980. Growing up, just like most kids, Vikas was obsessed with video games. He would save his pocket money and spend most of it playing Mario, Contra and Road Fighter in gaming parlors around Patna. He became the first kid in his neighborhood to win Mario and rescue Princess Peach, which made him somewhat of a legend among his gaming friends. Along with his gaming passion, Vikas was obsessed with one more thing: money. Throughout his childhood, Vikas had one thing clear in his mind. When he grows up, he wants to be a businessman and make a lot of money. After completing school, a clueless Vikas followed his friends and started preparing for the engineering entrance exam without knowing what kind of an engineer he wanted to become. He was following the crowd, just like most of us do in that age. He studied hard for 2 years but failed to crack the entrance exam not once but twice. At this point, Vikas was confused with his life. He didn't know what to do. Vikas decided to take a 1 year break and started learning animation and graphic design at a local institute. He didn't know back then, but this designing skills would help him a lot in the future. At the end of the course, Vikas had a clear picture in his mind. He realized he wanted to become a computer engineer, not anything else. He gave the entrance exam for the third time and this time around passed with decent grades and took admission for a computer science degree in MIT Bulandshahr in 2000. Fun fact on the side, Vikas was the first person to take admission in the college. For college, Vikas's mother and his brother bought him a computer, which was a big investment for the family, and Vikas made sure he never wasted it. While most of his classmates would watch movies and listen to songs on the computer, Vikas always used it for studies. He didn't fool around. Vikas would read tech magazines and collect free software CDs that came along with them, and in a year, Vikas had a big library of free softwares on his computer. He became the go-to person in his college hostel for all computer-related queries. Up until this point, Vikas didn't have a passion for building games, but all that changed when he found a CD on the back of one of those tech magazines. The CD had a game development software inside it. Vikas started tinkering with it, and pretty soon he became obsessed with game development. From an avid gamer, Vikas became a budding game developer. He spent countless hours learning the software and designing games. Most of his early games were trash, but after several failures, Vikas managed to build a game. He named it Eggy Boy. It was a 7-level game just like Super Mario. I never played it, but here's a video of it, and for 2004, it looks pretty good to me. He sent his game to a bunch of tech magazines, and in July of 2003, PC Quest magazine gave Eggy Boy the Game of the Month recognition. Eggy Boy's success filled Vikas with the confidence, and he realized he wants to build games for the rest of his life. Later on in an interview, Vikas said, "Eggy Boy's success cemented my love for video games." With his engineering degree coming to an end, Vikas started searching for jobs in the gaming industry. He sent resumes to the top 5 gaming companies in India along with Eggy Boy's CD, and in few months got a call from India Games. He interviewed with them and got selected. After completing his graduation in 2004, Vikas took a train to Mumbai and joined India Games as a tech lead. During the day, Vikas would build games for the company, and in the night, he started building gaming content blogs to make some extra money. A year into his job, Vikas realized a job will never help him become rich, which was one of his biggest life goals. Hence, he doubled down on his gaming blogs to build a steady secondary source of income so he can quit. In his 4 years at India Games, Vikas resigned twice, but on both occasions, he was given a raise and asked to stay with the team, and he did. But in 2008, Vikas started earning over 50,000 rupees a month from his blogs, which was way more than his salary. Hence, Vikas, 27 at that time, quit his job at India Games and started Gameshin Technology to work on his gaming websites and build games for his own company. From 2008 to 2010, Vikas worked from his home and started building a portfolio of websites. He built everything from SMS jokes and shairi websites, fact websites to baby name generators to over a dozen gaming portals. At one point, Vikas had over 50 websites in its portfolio and he was making some serious money. Looking back at Vikas's life, one thing is certain, he was taking a lot of big swings and it was only a matter of time he would hit a home run. In 2010, Vikas used his savings of 2.5 lakh rupees and bought an office space in Navi Mumbai and hired a small team of 7 people to help him build browser-based games. From 2010 to 2014, Gameshin launched over 20 flash games in puzzle, racing and action game genre. They were not fancy games like GTA or FIFA, but simple games which were played in those times. Some of the early games Gameshin developed are Frogfly, Jurassic Escape and Katrina Kaif Makeover. Here's how they looked. At its peak in 2013, Vikas's portfolio of 50 odd websites were getting over 20 million monthly visitors and his company was making over $5,000 a day, which is a lot of money. During this same time, few of the games Gameshin developed became wildly popular and Vikas made a rip-off version of them for Times Warner and Cartoon Network. But all the success was soon to end. Android and iOS were taking over the world and the time for browser-based games was over. In 2013 and 14, Vikas saw all his website traffic going down and he pivoted to the mobile game market by making mobile versions of his successful browser games, but none of them stood a chance in front of popular games like Subway Surfer, Angry Birds and Candy Crush. In the next 2 years, Gameshin launched over 10 Android games, but none of them proved successful. This was a low point for Vikas and Gameshin. No matter how hard they try, their games were not getting any traction. After back-to-back failures, Vikas was convinced that there was no way a small gaming company like his, with just 5 employees, could build a popular Android game. He convinced himself you need big money and a lot of people to do something like this. But all that was about to change. In October of 2015, Vikas came across a Snakes and Ladder game. He played the game and liked it and got an idea, why not do this for Ludo? He checked the Play Store and found few Ludo games. He tried them, but none of them were interesting. All the games had bad user experience, they were very slow and had different rules. Vikas knew instantly he could build a much better Ludo game than what's around. He pitched the idea to his designer and programmer, but they were not interested. He tried to convince them saying it would become one of the top 5 games in the board game category, but they didn't look excited as him. Why would they? All their mobile games were failing miserably, and surprisingly Santosh Patil, Gameshin's developer, had never played Ludo in his life. But Vikas couldn't let this opportunity slide. He decided to swing hard. Vikas took his one game developer and graphic designer to the drawing board. He started sketching design mockups, finalized the game rules as Ludo had different rules in different places, selected a good music, and gave 3 simple instructions to the team. Keep the game simple, quick, and fun to play. In a year, the trio built the first version of the game and launched it in December of 2016 with just offline multiplayer mode. Vikas was hoping the game would become a mild success, but what was about to come was never before seen in the Indian gaming industry. In the first 3 months of launch, Ludo King got more downloads than all the games Gameshin had developed before. In just 1 year, Ludo King had over 120 million downloads worldwide with over 8 million daily active users. They added online multiplayer mode, 6-player mode, new game themes like Egypt and Disco to improve the gaming experience, and even made a music video with Mikha Paji, which is kinda good. And the game spread like wildfire. Since 2018, Ludo King is ranked number 1 on the Google Play Store in India, and as of filming of this video, it has over 900 million downloads, making it the most downloaded game in India by a mile. In 2022, Gameshin made over $20 million in revenue, all this with absolutely zero funding. The main reason why Ludo King is such a massive success is how simple and engaging the game is. Look at how the pieces move, the animation is so good. Listen to the game music. Look at the clean and ad-free Ludo board. Even though all these things are there in most Ludo games today, Ludo King was the one who introduced them. One thing I'm pretty sure is if Vikas didn't build Ludo King, he would have built something else equally massive. He was just taking big swings one after the other for most of his life. Vikas Jaiswal is a true hustler. So that's a wrap for today, guys. If you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.